Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it is good to see you. Lots to talk about on today's show, but I think we have to talk with the biggest thing that happened to LA over the weekend. Your son, James, turned 1 year old in Los Angeles.
We had a 1-year-old party. I can see how when you have like two kids and then they're in school and then you have friends and there's birthday parties every weekend, it's just like, I could see like how annoying birthday parties could get. Like we hosted the birthday party, which was already not fun. It was fine. It's just like, what's a 1-year-old going to do? He loved eating cake. He loved walking around. But, oh, by the way, he's walking. He's like actually walking now, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
Crazy. But yeah, it's just like, it's something you didn't realize now you're in. It's like, oh, because if you know 30 people, that's 30 weekends out of the year that you're going to have to go to birthday parties.
It sounds like you took this opportunity of his first birthday to realize the rest of your life is really brutal on weekends for the next 18 years.
And it's like, how drunk can you get at a kid's birthday party?
Not very. Who was drunk at James's party? Name names.
No, it was 11 o'clock in the morning, some champagne, some beer, but...
How drunk can you get? It's a 1-year-old. Clean it up, man.
I just think it's a crazy thing to think about because once he goes to school and all this stuff, it's different. It's like when we have birthdays, it's not like a big thing. It's like, oh, maybe we'll go out to dinner. Maybe we'll do something.
It's enjoyable, but they're enjoyable for the kids. And this is the whole idea of you have given yourself up for your son and you are committing to years and years of service. It's like Big Cat on the weekends. There's no more watching sports all weekend. No. It's going to kids' birthday parties all weekend.
It's very hard to watch sports. It's like you guys are texting about games. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know what was going on. It's tough. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that. Before we transition, though, I did see some pictures. It looks like he's walking. He walked to the toy area, Mike, and I wasn't there. Unfortunately, I'm a coast away on the East Coast, but it looked like he went right for the sports set that me and mutual friend got him, which was sponsored by the Sports Hangover. We're going to make sure this kid is an athlete, and it looks like he went right for it.
He did go right for it. Only gift not wrapped.
Yep.
I didn't know if that was a strategy. Tony
for sure. That'd be a lot of rapping on that, to be honest. That'd be a lot.
That'd be a lot of rapping, yeah. So you played with that for a little bit. It's just you have all these like blue and bright yellow toys all over the house now. It's like a bus that's blue and yellow and it pops out balls and it does all this. There's just like tons of plasticky toys and I feel like
we knew you wouldn't love all that and we knew you might not love the toy that we got, but that's what it's about. It's about pissing you off a little bit too. It's very loud. I made sure to get the loud one with extra bells and whistles. Is that going okay in the house?
Even if you're not putting the ball through the net, it is making noises.
Yes, that's my goal. Yeah, always be reminded of the Sports Hangover.
Making sure he doesn't know where the on switch is for that. So.
Well, he's going to be an athlete. We'll check in on the second birthday, see if he's better than Bronny by then. At some point here, as we're recording, he's going to pass the other James, Bronny James. So we'll see when that point is.
Yeah. I got to get him a Bronny James jersey.
That's so true. James on the back?
James Jr., right? Or should I get the James?
Mike, you better do that. I mean, we'll get to the Lakers right now, but they might be breaking up the team.
We don't have to talk Lakers right now. Let's talk the draft because I felt like we were leading up to the draft for months talking about Shadour Sanders. Now, I went back. I didn't grab the clips. But we talked about him in December, and I told you he was not going to get, like, you don't want to draft a guy like that. You talked about him the week in March about how he's not any good. Yeah. And then it comes true, the day of the draft, he got pushed. Now, I don't know what the reason is, but it seemed like it was great for ratings. That's all I know. Because even I tuned in the second day.
It was great for ratings until it got to be cringeworthy, and we were all feeling bad for the Sanders family, which we never thought we'd feel bad for Dion and Shadour. I don't know. I felt bad for him by Saturday when he was still sitting there.
It's a weird thing because I didn't realize so many guys then also got picked up post undrafted day. Like his brother, I didn't even know he had a brother.
Well, those guys, undrafted free agents, like his went to the Bucks, like that's fine. The kid's not going to make the team. He'll be cut by August, and he'll be back on the street, back on the Twitch and Dion's house in no time by the fall for his brother Shadour's games. That does happen. I mean, Shadour was. At one point on Saturday, when you're looking at these quarterbacks who are being taken, the discussion turns into, is this man being undrafted? Is this man going to be an undrafted free agent? Is this man's NFL career over before it starts? Like, what did the NFL was trying to tell him that him and Dion messed up so bad in their process and how they prepared for the draft and how they got ready for it and the physical tools and his body of work at Colorado, which was coached by Dion and controlled by Dion. The NFL said, this all is shit, and this whole situation is shit, and we don't want to touch it. And it's debatable if the Browns even wanted him at all, right? They took the quarterback from UCF in Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, 2 rounds ahead of Shadour. So if they wanted Shadour so bad, they would have drafted him then.
Yeah. And I was thinking, too, because I was like, all right, when was the last time something like this happened, when there's somebody that was super hyped and it basically didn't work out? And I was thinking it was Johnny Manziel. I remember sitting at a bar watching, hoping Dallas was going to draft Johnny Manziel, and obviously he ended up in Cleveland. But
he was a first-round pick. He didn't fall that much. His career fell once he got to Cleveland, but it was a little different. Aaron Rodgers might be the best example of sitting in the room waiting to be called as a top 3 pick, and he went in the 20s. I mean, Shadour went in the 130s or something like that.
I guess it's just weird because it seems like, from what I heard, I watched interviews of people, and it seems like people care about your like arm length and speed and jumping ability much more than the tape. It almost, because then I saw some tape of some of these guys that got drafted before him. They didn't look that great. Now, I don't know if it was just because they wanted to show like how bad these other quarterbacks were that got drafted, but it seemed like it was like it's almost like a price gouging. It's like everybody called everybody, said, do not draft this guy. He's not going in the top X rounds. Mm-hmm. He's off the board. Like, everybody else is better. You don't want to deal with the drama. And I don't know if that's true. He might actually come out to be really good, but now it's kind of like you got to put your money where your mouth is and kind of now earn it instead of going, back to college. He could have earned, I think, $2 million more than he was going to earn playing at Cleveland and being the 5th string quarterback.
It's true. Whether that was for Colorado, maybe you should have gone to a bigger conference like the SEC, go to Alabama and prove yourself against the best players. But you're right. No one knows collusion like the NFL knows collusion. Yes. They're really good at it. They're professional colluders.
It's only 32 people that got to do it, right?
And they're all high-priced owners. Yeah. Like, they're 32 of the richest people in the world, the most powerful people in the world. They're all at the massage parlors colluding every offseason. I'm sure of it. And so that's what they did here, possibly, right? They did it with Colin Kaepernick, another quarterback who seemed good on paper. Tim Tebow, after a certain point, he seemed good on paper, but they weren't worth what they brought to the organization, all the other things that they brought. And so the NFL said, we don't want this. Now, did the Browns actually want him? Because, again, they took Dylan Gabriel, who is supposed to be a career backup quarterback, 2 rounds ahead. We saw Dylan at UCF. He's short. He's not strong. He's like Tua without arm strength. Like, that's not going to get you very far in the NFL.
Especially if he's that fragile, too.
Exactly. I don't know if he's that fragile. I mean, no one's as fragile as my guy. But it's just that they didn't want him. Then the camera cuts to them when they took Shadour, and the GM was like giving a golf clap.
Yeah.
When every other pick, he's like fired up and engaging the room. Did the Browns owner, who Jimmy Haslam, who has a relationship with Dion, did he make the Browns draft him to stop the slide? Did he get a call? Did he want that to happen because he felt so embarrassed for Dion and Shadour?
So what's weird to me is they dropped back in the draft. They traded to Jags. They dropped out of the second pick, right? Yeah. So were they going to draft his boy? Why can't I think of his name right now?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
2. It would have made more sense, right?
It would have made more sense.
But then Dion would have to coach him.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it seemed a little weird. At some point, you're like, well, there's everybody on the ESPN was like, here's best available. Shadour Sanders was number 1.
Mel Kiper had him number 1 over Cam Ward, who went to the Titans. And Mel Kiper spent the entire draft telling everyone how wrong they are about decision making. By the way, Mel Kiper's legacy in question after this weekend. The way, one, he had the 5th round pick as his number 1 player on the board. Like, what kind of draft evaluator are you when you're wrong by 5 rounds like that? And number 2, he's telling the NFL that they're clueless about quarterbacks. And they are. That is seen over time. The Browns and Manziel, quarterback after quarterback. It's like a 50% hit rate or much less. We always talk about that. But so is his. Like, where's his track record of being right? Because he's been so wrong. Was it Jimmy Clausen, the quarterback, who went to the Panthers? Apparently, Mel Kiper said he's going to be a generational quarterback, as good as Peyton Manning is going to be. And the guy fizzled out. So, like, Mel Kiper is just as bad of an evaluator. So, 1, he had a temper tantrum. And 2, he was completely wrong.
So that's the thing, too. I keep going back. We talked about NIL like a few weeks ago. Is that ruining football? Because these guys think they literally are showing up in like Lamborghinis. Shadour was he built a custom room with hats everywhere and was ready. Live stream was happening. I think college football has ruined the NFL because you're no longer like hungry to go earn your money. You're just like, I'm a fucking star. I've redshirted 4 years in a row. I'm 28. I'm still playing college football, earning $3 million a year. Like, in a way, this has become the second league that we've always been looking for in springtime. It is college football. And I think college football has ruined what these guys, this is like what I imagine the first generation of like COVID kids coming into the real world. These are like COVID college kids, and now they're all like ruined from NIL.
Fascinating that college football may have ruined college football and the NFL. Yes. That's a problem if they ruin both of their prime sports. But are you describing the entire draft class when you say that? Are you describing Shadour and his attitude maybe as the projection of what this current age group feels?
It seems like with this age group, you have the ability to earn so much more money than you ever would. Like some guys that will never earn a dime in the NFL will earn more money in college than they would in the NFL. Now, I don't know if it's just because contracts are certain ways. You got to negotiate more. It's a little more cutthroat. College football, it seems like, you can just jump to another school. There's a lot more teams you can play on. It seems like a lot of booster money around. It almost seems like a better bet to just stay in college and then say, if you are the number 1 overall pick, like Cam Ward, are you going to be that generational talent? Are you going to come in and be the greatest quarterback ever for the Titans? I don't know. Titans are pretty like retirement home for wide receivers. They just got Tyler Lockett. Like he's on his last leg after being in Seattle for years. But it just seems like NFL, is that now the goal? Or is the goal to just earn a ton of money and then hope to get to the NFL? Now you got to realize you got to work even harder because in college you were maybe not, learning an NFL offense. I saw the one guy, I don't know who it was. Who's the second quarterback that got drafted?
Jackson Dart?
Jackson Dart. I saw him on Gruden's like QB, whatever he does with them. Yeah. And he's like, what's your snap count? He's like this. He's just clapping.
That's all he got. Gruden didn't like it at all.
He's like, what are you doing?
Gruden didn't like that.
So it's kind of a weird thing. It's almost like this is your raw talent. What can you do in the college thing? And now we have to see what you can do in NFL because these guys are the best of the best. So who knows? I don't know. It just felt very weird to me that night because it was like guys that, who knows? Like, I don't know if you want to talk about your team. I got some notes on the Seahawks, but it was a weird night.
We'll go team by team and share some takeaways. I think you're really onto something here. I think one is these guys don't have awareness anymore because they're surrounding themselves with yes people. You see it with the owners. You see it with the star quarterbacks in high school and college. And again, it's like LeBron James going back to when you're crowned as a young child and you're crowned at every level going up, you're going to surround yourself with people who only say yes to you. So having the awareness of saying, hey, maybe I can go to a different school because you're free to transfer in college wherever you want and go prove yourself at a better level instead of playing for my dad with all my friends at Colorado like Shadour did. Or Quinn Ewers at Texas. He had a year of eligibility left. He could have gone to another school, win a national championship, win a Heisman, be a first-round pick. This man was picked in the 7th round by my team, the Miami Dolphins. His pay is going to be like $100,000 on the field. I am, because he might be better than Tua even as a 7th-round pick. Brock Purdy told us, trust 7th-rounders that come out, right?
I guess so. Well, who was the guy that he like transferred out of Tennessee and he went to UCLA and made like $2 million less?
Yeah, Nico. That's controversial because he like went shopping in a period where he wasn't supposed to go shopping anymore. We don't want him, but he is going to LA for $2 million. It doesn't get you very far.
No, but and then also taxes. He should just stayed in Tennessee. But I guess the draft was weird. We'll see how these guys pan out. Honestly, by the time they're on your team, it doesn't matter. You don't even care like where anybody was drafted. I have no idea where DK was drafted, and it doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Just that they're there and they contribute. We're going to get to, I want to hear about what you think about the Seahawks. I have some Steelers thoughts as well. But the prank call that Shadour got, that was too much, right? This is from an assistant coach on the Jets who apparently, or on the Falcons, used to be on the Jets. He left his iPad, as the Falcons actually put out a statement saying he left his iPad out. His son was at home visiting, got Shadour's number. The craziest thing to me, so if you don't know, Shadour got a prank call on like Friday night, maybe like round 2 of the draft. I don't think it was round 1, unless it was round 1, maybe Thursday.
I thought it was round 2. Well,
maybe
I thought
Friday,
like we saw it on Friday or something.
And the guy said he's Mickey Loomis from the Saints. Clearly, Shadour was like interested in that. Maybe the Saints wanted him. Said, we're about to draft you, but then said it's going to take a little longer. Shadour was confused, puzzled, said no one has his number. It's supposed to be a burner phone he just got, and like only gave the NFL numbers. But I thought the crazy thing, Mike, was that the kids who prank called him released a video outing themselves, and one of the kids turned out to be the Falcons' assistant coach's son.
Well, I think even more happened. I think as the days go on, I think there was like 5 or 6 other people that got prank called. So so it just seems like they just went through and just see who they could call. But I thought you would talk to some of the teams ahead of time and kind of like know maybe their voice at all. Like, didn't he do interviews with like the Giants GM and coach? Like, didn't you sit down with these guys? So you thought you
mean, the guy kind of disguised his voice. I don't know what Mickey Loomis sounds like. He sounds like a Southern guy. I don't know. It was not fair to Shadour. Yeah. It was a good prank, but not fair to Shadour. And I didn't like that, especially because he's falling. It was just emotional, and like Shadour had cameras on him the whole time, which that's what he asked for. Back to your point, where that's what this generation has. But it showed a lot of heartbreak too. But he seemed okay. He didn't seem too upset throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. Deshaun's not there this year, right? So he's injured again. So we'll see if he. Right. Why can't they just drop him?
Watson?
Yeah.
They'll probably look to reclaim some of his value, then trade him. Maybe I don't know. No one wants. You're right.
All right, tell me about you, Miami. What do you think? Or if Miami, you want to go to another team,
I want to talk about the Steelers. The Steelers should have drafted Shadour at number 21. They still don't have someone throwing a DK. You just mentioned him. Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback of the Steelers. Free agency has come and gone. The draft has come and gone. Training camp is around the corner, and Mason Rudolph is the starter for the Steelers. DK Metcalf is like the biggest loser in the whole draft.
Yeah, I mean, he got paid. And then they draft some quarterback that like mutual friend was semi-excited about.
Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. He won the national championship, but he's like a white boy, and those guys never do anything in college. They just, or in NFL. They just don't.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph. I don't know. The Steelers, I don't know what they're doing. It seems like, from what I read, Aaron Rodgers most likely will sign and be a Steeler.
How can they feel that when this guy could like wake up one day and change his mind, obviously, as he's done so many times? Why are they acquiescing so much to his current thoughts of whether he wants to play or doesn't want to play? And why do they think it's so confident that he's going to play? Even if he comes to play, I heard a stat today, Mike. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers has thrown for one 300-yard passing game in his last 36 games. Ooh. He's not even good anymore. So, like, what are they holding out for? DK Metcalf will not have any production there. Don't draft him in fantasy.
He was kind of like the bait to get somebody there, and no one took the bait. They're like, we don't care. Like, good luck,
and
guys.
What's their plan been? Like, Rodgers has been their only plan. Like, if you don't like Shadour, take Jackson Dart there. Take another quarterback there. Develop someone else. Trade up. Like, whatever it is. They took a running back in the third round. Like, they had no interest in that.
Didn't they take two running backs?
They may have, yeah. Other teams that added, the Giants added a quarterback. The Saints added a quarterback. Mike, the Seahawks added a quarterback from Alabama.
I like that. I like the trade. Traded to Minnesota and got rid of Sam Howell. Never really played last season, and now he's gone.
They didn't get much for Sam Howell. They moved up 30 spots in like the 5th round and included Sam Howell in the trade. Our buddy Sam Howell, his value has tanked.
So tell me about, because I was like looking up, like, I don't know anything about Jalen Monroe. Like, is he going to be good? Maybe he'll play, in 2026 or 2027. Maybe after Sam Darnold's not there. Sam Darnold's on a 1-year contract. Is he good? Is he bad? I have no idea.
Sam Darnold's on a 3-year contract. There's an out after the first year.
After,
I think he's going to play well in the first year and stay there. So this is like a developmental backup, which is fine in the third round. Now, Jalen Milroe, he was a quarterback at Alabama when Nick Saban took a look at the roster and said, peace out, I'm going to retire and get out of here. So is that a saying that it might have been like the worst Alabama quarterback in a long time? The guy was making plays. He's a good scrambler, which I feel like the Seahawks and Geno, they've never had that before. No. So that's a little different for the Seahawks.
Geno ran, but he wasn't very fast.
It wasn't fast. He would escape pressure, but not like past the line of scrimmage. Milroe will pick up first downs with his legs all the time. Not super accurate, but maybe has time to develop. 3rd round pick, maybe a 5th round passer, 2nd round runner, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right. So not too excited on it. Wasn't a great pick. I was like, oh, this is good. We got a quarterback, nice development.
Mike, why are you still excited about the Seahawks when your team, the Raiders, made a much more exciting?
I know. I was very excited about the Raiders. Did a great job. I'm so happy about my Super Bowl bet for the Raiders. They look great. I looked up. I didn't realize this, but I didn't realize like a 2nd overall pick. I don't understand how this is real. How is he guaranteed to make $31 million? Alshon Jeffrey, right? Or he's what?
He was a 6th overall.
Sixth overall.
Yeah.
$31 million. He's making more than Christian McCaffrey, more than Bijan, and more than Jonathan Taylor.
That means none of them were drafted 6th and above, right? And so that's the thing. And normally running backs aren't taking that high. Running backs, we went through this whole thing where running backs weren't valued, they weren't getting paid, they weren't being first-round picks, and we've come full circle. And that's what happens so often in sports. It's a cyclical process where what's old is new again, and running backs are hot. 2 running backs in the first round, the Broncos and the Raiders, both out west there. 6th overall is really early for a Boise State running back. I don't know if I love the value there, but if they weren't going to go quarterback and there's no quarterback there that they like, they didn't reach for Shadour. I give them credit, so they can go back in the draft next year and try to replace Geno at that point. I like Gentry there. I just think 6 a little high for a running back. I'm not ready to say like running backs are valuable again. They're not all Saquon Barkley.
But you like what the team is kind of coming together like, right? It seems like a great team.
It's Geno, Gentry. Who are the receivers? Devontae Adams is not there. Jacoby Myers is in the number one.
I don't think he's there. They got a rookie, I think. I don't know who else is there.
Pick.
Oh, they got that tight end. That's really Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. They do have Brock Bowers. They took a receiver in the second round. A very emotional story. The kid's brother was murdered on New Year's Day.
Did they say this on ESPN? Why do they always have to say sad stories at the draft day?
I saw some memes. It's not funny, but like there's some memes and people get these full screen graphics, and the meme is like, ready for ESPN to present everyone's worst day of their life on a graphic. And it's like, mom dealt with 16 years of substance abuse. And like all these random facts that like you wouldn't mention when you like meet someone, but it's always on the ESPN graphics. Yeah. They're trying to tell a story, but sometimes it's too much.
A little too much. I know they got to kill a lot of airtime because there's like 8 minutes in between each pick. It's way too long. Also, first round should go a lot faster. It's like, what are you deciding? You're number one overall. You could have had that pick in the minute the clock started.
The first team should not get 15 minutes to pick.
No, not at all. Like, just put it in. You got it. Like, if you wanted the trades would already happen.
I'll say this. I don't know if it makes us feel like traditional and old school, but the draft, when it was all day Saturday, starting at noon Eastern time, and they just ripped through a bunch of rounds into the night, that was peak draft. We would have chili cook-off at the house. We'd have people over. But a Thursday night, I know they do it for like primetime ratings. They play NFL on Thursday nights, but it's like 3 nights, like to your point, the first round is 4 hours. The second night's longer. It's like, it's too much. Like, I like the Saturday noon vibe. I don't know.
I mean, they got higher ratings than like NBA playoffs, so I think they're doing something right.
To your point, people tuned in for Shadour, especially Friday. My 2 more draft notes, both on the state of Florida, if that's okay. One, what do you think of the Jaguars' kid GM? He's younger than us. He might be the age of your son. Young. He looks young. He says weird things in his press conferences, and he traded for the Shohei Ohtani of football. That's what I'm calling Travis Hunter.
Really? Wow, he's going to be that good.
He does it all. He does it all.
And I hope they use him that way, too. That'll be fun to see. I don't think that's been like, hasn't happened in a long time.
No, they said they will. They're going to get him an offensive install, and he's going to do defense when he can, but it's offense first.
I like it. And everybody's just up on the Duval.
I know. Kid GM. I don't know. But it's good for them to get some fans. And then the Bucks, Mike, I don't take pride in saying this. Yeah. A lot of Bucks fans I despise in our world. They made a hell of a first-round pick. Emeka Egbuka, fantasy football alert. That man snatches the ball out of the sky. I watch one team in college more than anyone, Ohio State Buckeyes, because my dad is a fan. They're always really good. They won the championship last year. This man, Egbuka, snatches the ball with his hands, unlike anyone else I've ever seen. It's like our lawyer friend. Remember, he used to do the catch like this? He used to catch very awkwardly.
He's not very athletic.
But it's like the athletic version of that, because he doesn't let the ball hit his body when he catches, and neither does Egbuka. Egbuka goes out and snatches that ball. Great for the Bucks, great for Baker. To add him with Evans and Godwin and McMillan. It's going to be good. There's so many good playmakers for the Bucks, and I'm jealous of what they're
What about the defensive line guy that's like 450 pounds? Did you see
on
that?
the Dolphins?
No, on the Bucks.
Oh, I didn't see that. We took one that was like 330. I thought that was big enough.
Yeah, I think he's like 400 pounds or something like that. Yeah.
That's the next Vita Vea.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of weight up front. I think it was like 850 total pounds on the front line or something, on the defensive line.
So, wow, I didn't know that. So good for the Bucks. Any other bets that you're making coming out of the draft? Anything like, oh, I love this team. They look like a Super Bowl team to me. Anything that you hated?
No. I mean, I would say if I could bet on over-under on how much Tua plays, I'd bet on that and see if Quinn steps in.
You like Quinn. Are you bypassing Zach Wilson, one of your favorite backups in the league?
Oh, yeah, Zach. I forgot Zach was there. I feel like he could have a shot over there because you guys always have like at least 3 to 4 weeks where Tua's out.
At least, minimum. At least. Yeah. Zach chose his number 0, and Ryan Fitzpatrick tweeted at him. The real quarterback tweeted at Zach and said, if you want to be taken seriously and you want to rehabilitate your career, the number 0 is not the way to do it.
Why does the number matter?
I guess it's like quarterbacks aren't normally number 0, so it's like a gimmick and not a real thing. I didn't mean much to me. I feel like Zach Wilson's a 0 to start with, so why change it?
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
but that was weird.
Yeah, nothing else really stands out. I like my Vegas Super Bowl bet. Yeah. It's really tough with the rookies too, because you never really know. I always feel like rookie wide receivers, especially in fantasy, they don't really pick up until the second year, or if it's like a rookie running back, you don't really pick up until the back half of the year, and you're really not that great.
Gentry should pick up right away. He might be, obviously, I'm tight with Matthew Berry these days, and he might be Matthew's ride or die, number 1 most confident player of this fantasy football season.
If Berry's not busy, should we get him on the pod? Can he come on?
I feel like he's pretty busy. He gets like 3 months off in the summer. Where's that guy going?
Yeah, we got to get some people on this year and talk fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
And gambling too. Get the real experts.
Yeah, we got to get real experts in. We're also going to Vegas if you want to come in August.
Maybe.
Okay, make a trip.
We have a lot of trips. July, August.
We do, yeah, a lot of trips. Okay. Do you want to talk about Bill Belichick and his CBS whatever interview or whatever he had?
Yeah, why did he do that interview?
I have no idea why he did the interview. It seems like it seems like his girlfriend is operating his life at this point. It's like, these are the decisions you're making and these are what you're going forward with. You have no say and you will make money and we will get married and you will give me all your money. To me, that's what it seems like. It seems like she's like, I know how much money you can make and you are going to make as much money as possible.
She interrupted the interview several times,
yes.
Not just when the topic was about her, but apparently other times. And she interrupted so many times that CBS chose to include her interrupting to make it part of the story.
I have a clip. Hopefully it works. We've never done this. I hope it's still connected. So I'm going to play a TikTok of her
from
on
CBS.
The interview.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No. It's a topic neither.
It was also a close-up on her face. Like, no, we are not talking about this.
Like,
then
they
I'm
were
like,
ready for that.
I got really curious. I'm like, wait, where did they meet? Why aren't we talking about this?
TSH investigates.
Do you know where they met?
I assume it was an app, but I feel like I heard a story it was a physical place.
It was a physical place. Bill Belichick met his very young girlfriend. I don't know how old. She's 23?
24?
24?
70 something?
They met on a flight February 2021. And she was a college student and a cheerleader. And they started talking. She was reading a book and they started talking about the book. And next thing you know, she's there at a CBS interview saying, no, you don't talk about us.
There's a lot there. There's a lot of there.
Yeah.
A lot of there. Something that she says in the interview, and he says even, is that she is his creative muse.
Yeah.
It made me think to something so random, because that's a random saying. And it made me think back to Donald Sterling, the Clippers owner, and he had that woman.
Did you
and
watch
the
that
woman
Hulu
called him the
video,
Silly Rabbit. Remember Silly Rabbit?
Yeah.
And she was like some kind of weird relationship. She was the young woman with the old man.
She was more not a prostitute, but like getting money from Sterling to basically just like be there for him. And I hopes that he would leave his wife to marry her, I think.
That's what you got from the documentary on the Donald Sterling.
Yeah, that's what
situation.
I got from that. Yeah.
Okay, so that sounds very similar to the Belichick situation. If money is involved, we're not accusing that on this show.
No.
But a lot of people are speculating that she was an escort because a lot of the things that she said and that he said make it seem like she is the escort kind of running his life and has taken over the day-to-day of decisions. That would be a reason why she's controlling interviews, that she's doing all the social media around him. Apparently there's other theories where if you take a picture and your partner doesn't know they're being taken a picture of and there's food involved, that's a very common high-end escort thing where escorts all around the world will take a picture of the man and food, but they don't know it and post it. That's something she did before.
I didn't know that. You're really researching for your trip.
Reporting. We're not reporting any of this, Mike. We're just reading the tea leaves, and so a lot of people think maybe that's what's going on.
Well, I mean, they're dating, so it's not like it's publicly they're dating, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it does feel like she is either very controlling, and he likes that because he seems very controlling. Maybe he wants somebody to finally like step up to him in a way, right? Doesn't she seems very?
Some people
controlling.
say the ones who are most controlling want to be choked the most.
Doing a lot of research for this Euro trip, huh? But this seems like she's definitely something's going on. She's a little too involved, and we would know nothing about her if she was not sitting at the interview. Like if you were married, J-Dog, and your wife was there all the time with you, eventually she would become a public figure as well, which, you know, if you're the one in charge of this college franchise, seems a little weird, right? You don't want to just continue going to this and be like, Hey, Mo, she's going to answer all the questions for me. Like, don't
shouldn't Bill be the leader? Shouldn't he be in charge?
Yes.
He's like one of the most respected leaders of the NFL in history, which means in the world history, if you will. One of the best leaders in world history, and he is appeasing a 24-year-old who is now running his life.
Not world history, but like football history.
I mean, like, are head coaches better leaders than a lot of countries' leader?
Maybe, yeah.
Probably. I feel like they know. I don't know if Bill is, but like teamwork, like getting people to work together, game planning, like having a plan, doing it. Like that's what Bill has done his whole career. It's just weird that he is now deferring to her.
Yes, it does seem very weird. And also it's just this storyline that's continuing because it didn't have to be, right? It didn't have to be.
He was doing this interview apparently for his book, not through UNC, and that's why she was controlling the interview. Normally there'd be UNC media people to step in. Why was he wearing the navy sweater from the 60s with a big hole in it? That was ridiculous.
Well, I really don't know. It just seems like very weird. And he was like talking about the book, and they mentioned, why can't I think of the Patriots owner?
Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft. And he just like wouldn't want to talk. I want to know what happened with them because
he got fired, but in the interview he said it was mutual parting of the ways. But if you go back through that, I've analyzed this a few different ways, Mike.
Yeah.
Robert Kraft was fired, or Robert Kraft fired Bill Belichick, and then Bill Belichick said it's mutual. And of course anyone can do that. You can call me one day and say, J-Dog, I'm firing you from the podcast.
Yeah.
I can say, I'm quitting the podcast. It was mutual. But you fired me first, so is it really mutual?
Well,
I think that's what happened with Robert.
Because there's been like documentaries, but I always feel like Kraft and Belichick, it's like if we're going to tell a story, we're only picking one to kind of guide the story, right? It's not Kraft, it's not him. Does Belichick want all like the praises for, having this great franchise for the last 20 years or whatever he was with them with? So I just don't know what the situation is. Now he's got his girlfriend and she's running the ship and he's getting all the credit, I guess.
I feel like we've learned a lot more about Bill since he left the Patriots. We've learned a lot more about Brady since he left the Patriots. And looking back on like their 15 years together, their sustained success, how'd that work for so long? They're both so weird. And they both want to be in control of their own message and everything, yet they work together to help each other become champions.
This is going to sound random, but I was listening to Tim Dillon podcast, and he had Candace Owens on, and they were talking about psychology. And they brought up Bill Belichick and Tom Brady about them falling in line. Like once you realize, like, if everybody believes this, everybody else will get behind my message and try to get with whatever the message is. It's like, be healthy, be on time, get here. We're playing the best football ever. You cannot think. It's not about independent thinkers. It was just an interesting, like, take on that relationship because it did seem like Brady was 100% in. He was in on the Belichick way. You don't talk about Belichick outside, any news conferences. Even Gronk was bought in. He was like, yeah, he's great. Like he would never talk about it. I don't know what was going on behind closed doors, but maybe in 20 years we'll get an actual deep dive into what happened with the Patriots with Gronk.
The one guy who didn't buy in was Aaron Hernandez, and look what happened to him.
That was his.
So you better fall in line.
You better fall in line. Yeah,
you're right. I think there is so much to that, and it goes back to like one of the greatest leaders, Belichick, of our generation in anything in life. And he's now deferring to this 24-year-old he met on a plane. None of it makes sense. All of it is awkward. All of it is uncomfortable. And we love that. It's perfect for the podcast, for entertainment. I hope they do a weekly interview series. I want to see much more of these two out and sharing the weirdest stuff so we can keep diving into it.
Do you think we'll see her on the sidelines during football season?
No, she was doing the book tour. I don't think she's running the UNC football program. That would be awesome.
Do you think you'll see her on the sidelines, though, with like a headset?
She'll be like T Swift in the box. They'll show her as much as T Swift gets shown.
Okay. I imagine her on the sidelines, making sure.
On the sideline, seriously?
Yeah,
with a headset on?
Oh, 100%.
Are you serious?
I think so, yeah.
That's like a whole nother level. But Belichick may have lost his mind already. That might be clear.
Do you want to talk Lakers and playoffs? Also, NHL and NBA playoffs going great. I'm going to Game 5 tomorrow night, Kings game.
That's huge. Mike, what's the series at? Give us the update.
It's 2-2. They lost in overtime last night.
But you get the pivotal Game 5. The winner of Game 5 in a 2-2 series will go on to win the series like 80-some% of the time. You're there for the deciding game. You're in the lower bowl. They might win or lose based on how you behave.
It's gonna be a late night. I'm worried. So
is it the late night of a doubleheader? 7:30 puck drop?
The 7 o'clock puck drop.
Oh,
It's just nice.
It's gonna be 7:20 because the first one's gonna run long.
Yeah. We're gonna be a little late. We're gonna have the nanny come at like 6.
I'm so excited. You're going to a playoff hockey lower bowl. You're gonna stand up the whole
Great.
time. You get rally towels.
Who knows? We'll see what the vibe is. We'll see. If,
You might not sit down. It might be like college football.
I just hope all the LA Kings fans didn't sell their ticket because I know those Canadian fans are definitely traveling from Edmonton down to LA.
No one is traveling from Canada to the U.S. at this time. They're not coming anymore.
They're definitely coming. I saw a lot of seats available because I want to look. It's like, is it worth me selling my ticket from the prices I saw? Not worth it. If it was Game 5, series on the line, 3-1 Kings, which I thought it was going to be, tickets would have been a lot more money.
This is a huge game. I'm glad you're going, and your seats are really great. So I appreciate
They're great.
that.
So
we ran out of time to talk about the Lakers, except to say that that the Lakers bet that you made live on the show a few weeks ago.
It's not looking good.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's just they're getting outplayed by Anthony Edwards, right? That's
a thing. And Anthony Edwards is back to being MJ in the playoffs, which we really like. We'll talk about that in a few weeks when we return, and he's still in the playoffs. And then the other thing is they don't play defense. Can I give you a quick quote from Magic Johnson here?
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna go bet
on the Timberwolves. Do that.
Yeah.
After the loss yesterday, when the Lakers went down 3-1, Magic Johnson tweeted, "Quote: When we needed LeBron to take over in the fourth quarter, he couldn't. He scored 0 points in the fourth." The owner, one of the greats of the franchise, being critical, and that just tells you. Like, the Lakers are the cream of the crop. They go down 3-1 in a series, and it all hell breaks loose. The greats are talking shit. Redick didn't play a bench player in the second half of that game, so he wore them all down, even though Luka was just sick 2 days before. It's all falling apart, Mike.
Why does Magic decide to tweet? He tweets the most random things sometimes. I feel like he's in the franchise and critiques the franchise. It's just like, go talk to the guy. Like, you don't need the publicly.
Yeah.
All right, championship odds. I got the Clippers are plus 26.
I was going to say the Clippers. Should you bet on the Clippers, who are looking good against the Nuggets, the other LA team? Should you pivot?
I don't know. Timberwolves are 23-1 right now.
I know, but it might be like a Lakers are bad and the Timberwolves aren't good.
So you think the Timberwolves are just getting lucky because it is a bad...
Because the Lakers don't play defense. Remember that center I told you sucks? He played 4 minutes yesterday.
So, did you see that it was the first time in playoff history that they played 5 players for the whole half of Game 4?
Yeah, that's your boy J.J. Redick screwing up. He gave them no rest, and they were all tired down the stretch, and Luka was just sick 2 days ago.
God, I don't know where I want to bet.
One player you had was sick 2 days ago throwing up. The other player you had is 41 years old, and he didn't bring in a sub in the whole second half of a must-win game. That is insane, and your little stat on Lakers head coaches either win their first year or never win. That man may have made a crucial never-win decision.
Well, how about this? Lakers definitely win next game, right? It kind of always goes back. They got the
at home? Yeah, well, that's the day after. Should you hide in a bathroom overnight?
Oh, wow. I don't know. That's pretty gross. Those bathrooms get real gross at the end of the night.
Really gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, is it better than being a father?
I'm not staying there.
You get a day off from being a father, Mike.
Well, I'm just gonna bet that game right now too. Okay. I'll do that.
All right, Lakers good show. What else are you betting?
Check out the Substack, our Sports Hangover Substack. You can subscribe there. Comes directly to your email, or if you want, YouTube. Go subscribe, comment on YouTube. We love the comments. We love reading them. J-Dog's on his Euro trip next week. I might be back with somebody. I don't know. I'm going to find somebody.
I hope available. You do.
We'll see. We'll see who's around.
All right. Check it out.
Good. All right. See you. Good show.